They say a mother's love is endless, but what about a grandmother's judgment? My name is David. I'm 18 years old, and what I thought was a normal childhood was just the surface of a much deeper story, one I was never supposed to know. Growing up, I knew my parents had tried for years to have children. It was something whispered by aunties at family gatherings or muttered by neighbors when my mom walked by in silence. My mom never said much. She was gentle, quiet, always carrying something behind her eyes that I didn't understand as a child. My grandmother, my dad's mother, was the opposite. Loud, controlling, traditional to the core. She believed every problem had a spiritual root. And when my parents couldn't conceive, she didn't hesitate to put all the blame on some ancestral sin or evil eye at work. And so began the pilgrimage. My mom was taken from one prophet to another, from churches to herbalists, from prayer camps to remote shrines deep in the village. Each new place promised a different solution, and each time the outcome was the same: nothing. Until suddenly, something. A miracle, they called it. Twins, me and my brother. I grew up being told we were God's answer, that the prayers had worked, that the curse had been broken. I never questioned it. Not until a few months ago. I was visiting Grandma. She's older now, slower. I was helping clean out her room when I stumbled on an old wooden box under her bed. I almost ignored it, but something told me to look inside. The key was taped to the bottom. I opened it. Inside were old photos, prayer beads, a broken cross, and then a folder with my dad's name on it. I opened it slowly. It was a medical file, my dad's file, dated over 25 years ago, long before I was born. The diagnosis was clear: testicular trauma, long-term damage, infertility likely permanent. I just froze. If my father was infertile before marriage, how were we born? I didn't say a word to Grandma. I finished cleaning, left early, and went home with a knot in my stomach. For the next week, I couldn't sleep. My mind went wild with questions. Had he recovered? Was the diagnosis wrong? Were we adopted? Donor sperm? I was spiraling. I started looking through things at home. Old documents, family albums, hoping for answers. That's when I found a diary, stuffed behind a blanket at the back of my mother's wardrobe. I wasn't proud of reading it, but once I opened the first page, I couldn't stop. My mother had poured her soul into those pages, pages filled with heartbreak, shame, and deep loneliness. She wrote about the pressure to conceive, the constant humiliation, the guilt of being blamed for something she couldn't explain. And then she wrote about him, a man she met during a women's conference in another town. He was kind, he listened. He didn't tell her to pray harder or just relax. He made her feel human again. She resisted him for weeks, but she was drowning, and one night, in a moment of weakness or maybe survival, she gave in. She became pregnant shortly after, not just with one child, but with two. She never told my father. She never saw that man again. She buried the truth and convinced herself it was for the best. But the part that broke me most was when she wrote, "Sometimes I see their father in their eyes. I wonder if he would have loved them. I wonder if my husband ever suspected. I pray that if the boys ever find out, they will understand. I was only trying to survive." I put the diary down and just sat there. Who is my real father? Does my dad, the man who raised me, love me, sacrifice everything for me, know the truth? Has he known all along and chosen to stay silent? Or was he completely in the dark? And my grandmother? The woman who once dragged my mom to shrines, blaming her for being barren, was she hiding the truth all along? Maybe that's why she changed toward my mom after we were born. Maybe she found the file. Maybe she realized the lie and chose silence over shame. I still don't know. I haven't told anyone. Not my mom, not my dad, not even my brother. But every time I look at my family now, I wonder, what would happen if the truth came out? Would it destroy us or set us free? I may never know the full story. But I do know this. The people who seem the strongest are often the ones who carry the most silent pain. And the truth, no matter how hidden, always finds a way to whisper itself into the light. This is my family's secret. And now, it's yours too. Some days I want to ask, to bring it all into the light. Other days, I wonder if silence is safer. What would you do?
I need help.